Hello everyone, this is I'm Monocle Man, and welcome back to my second how-to video. How-to number 2. How-to. Two. Never mind. On that rather silly note, let's continue with the video. In this how-to video, we're going to be looking at something quite interesting that I've actually been requested to make a video about by one of my friends at school. Now, this is timers. Now, like 30-second timers and things like that. For this, we will need hoppers, because there is something called a hopper timer, which is quite useful, and today I'm going to show you how to build all these. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so our first design for timer is something that you should never do because it requires a lot of repeaters and it's extremely bulky. If you want to make a 30-second timer, this will be absolutely enormous. Just don't do it, please. Doesn't look good. It's bulky, it's big, it requires a lot of resources. It's just not a good timer. So yeah, this is a design that you should definitely not build. Okay, so our next design is definitely one that you should build if you are to build one. This is the standard hopper timer. It is 1 block wide, 2 blocks high, and about 6 blocks across. It's quite a small design, and it's also quite efficient as well. As you can see, it will tick over like this, and you can just run an output out of it like so, into whatever you want, a piston, a lamp, or anything. And so what you're going to need to build this, because this is such a simple design, is you're going to need a few resources. So I'll just show you how to build it right here. So we take a block like this, redstone comparator leading into that, go 2 blocks away from that, and take a redstone comparator facing in the opposite direction, facing into a block like that, redstone dust on top of that, then we take a hopper, face it out of here, and both the hoppers have to be facing into each other, much like the hopper clock that I showed in my first ever video. And then you just take 2 sticky pistons facing like this, one with a redstone block on its face, and then basically you just pop whatever item you want. Now this works just as fast as a regular hopper clock, so if you do want to make it a bit slower and more like a timer, just take more items, and as you can see, this will slowly tick into this one, and as it leads into that one, it will eventually swap over and send the signal over here. Now you will be able to see that in just a moment. Maybe I could speed the process up a little bit by doing this, and you'll see that in just a moment it will tick over and there. So this timer is very good. You can fill it up as much as you like, up to 5 stacks of items in there, and each block takes about, or each item takes about 4/10 of a second or 2/5 of a second to transfer from one hopper to the other. So it's extremely simple. And another thing that you can do is you can make an AFK platform if it's like for a big auto farm or something. I'm just going to take a pressure plate like this, and basically how the AFK platforms work is basically with a pressure plate and a redstone torch on the side, so that when you stand on it, it inverts the redstone torch, therefore unlocking this. However, when you do step off it, you see how it does in fact lock the system, because this redstone dust is in fact locking that hopper. So that is a very, very good timer for farms, and I strongly suggest using it. And this particular design of hopper timer is extremely compact, and I think that it is a very, very nice design, but there are also other designs. So for example, you can have a stackable design of hopper timer. We'll do that right now. We'll take comparator output like so, and one like so, 2 blocks on either side. This time we have a torch on one block, torch, inverted torch this time. Then do the same on the other side, block and torch, and of course we need 2 different hoppers facing into each other, of course, and we need, say, a stack of blocks. And of course, this will start up the timer, of course, not very well, but it, of course, will start the timer. And as you can see, it's not entirely working properly until you then add the last part in. Now it's working perfectly, and you see now this is actually a stackable design. So if you do want to, say, build more of these, you can just do this. You can just do the same process here, because this is stackable, as I said before. you just have you just do the same process again, like so. Torch like that, inverted torch like that, and same on the other side. Block, block, torch, torch, and piston, piston, redstone block, items. And here you have two different timers running, both directly next to each other. Now, of course, you do not need to do this. There is probably no point in doing this unless, of course, you do need, for some specific reason, to have two different farms running at the same time, or, well, you could just lead them into one hopper timer, but this is the two hopper timers design. I don't really understand why you would need this, but just in case you would need a stackable hopper timer, this is the design to go for. Okay, so in our next design of hopper timer, this one is actually only 1 block high, it is 2 blocks across, and as usual, 6 blocks in length. Now, as you can see, it works just the same as the as the other hopper timers down that way. It's got the same concept really, and basically, I'll show you how to build it right now. Same, pretty much. It's pretty much the same, except it is on its side. You just take a hopper clock facing like each hopper must face like this, just like a hopper clock. Take redstone comparator outputs from either side, just like before, and of course, instead, you have to put the redstone dust over here rather than up here. Now, this is quite important because otherwise it won't be 1 block high. And of course, then you just do the same process again, redstone block there to lock that hopper, take a stack or more of whatever item you want, and there is your hopper timer. Now, this works the exact same way as all the other hopper timers do, the exact same principles, the exact same everything pretty much, and it's extremely simple. Doesn't require much work to do each one of these. So yeah, I strongly suggest building this. Okay, now if you are wondering how to estimate exactly the amount of time each hopper timer will last before it ticks over for, it's really quite simple. So you see, each item takes about 4/10 of a second to tick over across to the next hopper. And so that would mean that a stack of items takes 25.6 seconds to tick over. I have used a calculator, by the way, and in that case, that would mean that if all 5 stacks were to be filling the hopper, it would take exactly 128 seconds before the hopper timer would tick over, which is about 2 minutes and 8 seconds, exactly. And so, yes, that is pretty much how you calculate how long a hopper timer works. Basically, you just if the amount of stacks of items you want to put in, you just multiply that by 26.5, or if you are not putting in a full stack, then you could, of course, do something else, which the way I worked it out is I probably didn't do it the smartest way possible. I divided the stack by 10 to get 6.4, then multiplied that by 4, and that's how I got 25.6. And of course, there are probably other ways to do this, but that is how I worked it out. If you want to get it precise, that is probably how you do it. You multiply the number of items you are putting into the hopper you divide it by 10, then multiply it by 4, and that should be your answer for how many seconds it should last for. So, yes, I do hope you enjoyed this this relatively short how-to video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, because that would once again really, really, really make my day. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you, and bye.